Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of Hatikva, followed by the Star-Spangled Banner.
Please be seated. Well, we made it. Welcome to our incredible graduation for our most incredible class of 2020. We are so thrilled to be able to see all of you in person. And although we wish we could have parents, siblings, and your beloved teachers here in person as well, we are all glad to be participating with everybody via the live stream. Making tonight's ceremony take place was really not an easy task. There are a number of people who we must thank and express our hakarat tov to for pushing beyond comfortable limits in planning this event. I want to thank Dr. Rivka Schwartz. I want to thank Mr. Michael Courtney and his able fill-in, Rabbi Dr. Moish Drelich. From our business office, Ms. Deborah May, as well as Mr. Seth Botnick. Parent volunteer Ariel Wiener was very instrumental. Ella Steingart putting this event together. Lauren Katz, Navacone. Parent volunteers coordinating the graduation committee, Dr. Danielle Thaw and Ms. Susie Charandoff. Heidi Kane and Heidi Greenbaum. Ariel Amar, and of course, Nick Fada and his entire crew, including Rob Chalfie. I want to thank especially our IT director, Rabbi Avi Bloom, and for the photography this evening, Jane Haslam. Thank you especially to our graduates for your flexibility, your ruach, your good spirits. Tonight is your night. Tonight is a celebration of who you have become. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rabbi Tully Hartstark.
SAR class of 2020, Tafshin Pei, Mazal Tov. My dear graduates, it is so great to see you in person, all together. Modim anachnu lach Hashem Elokeinu. We are so thankful to Hashem that we are here together celebrating your achievements as you graduate from SAR High School. I welcome parents and families who are participating virtually. To you, parents, siblings, grandparents, I say thank you, Mazal Tov, and much nachat. We so appreciate your support and your flexibility during this time of uncertainty. I begin every year by expressing gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for granting us the opportunity to reach this milestone. This year, I feel exceptionally grateful to be together with all of you to celebrate your graduation. This could very possibly not have happened. We could have been in cars, we could have been at home. Baruch Hashem, we are healthy, we are able to be here, that we are together, and that alone says so much about the strength of the SAR community, about your grade, about your resilience, about what we should be grateful for and what we should not take for granted. My dear graduates, it is my honor to offer you divrei bracha tonight. Over the past few weeks, we have been reading the stories of Sefer B'Midbar. In a word, these stories describe Bnei Yisrael having quite a tough time in the Midbar. They complain about food, about water, about having to go to battle, to serve in the military, about power and authority, about all of the basic elements of a society. Why are they struggling so much? Many Jewish thinkers have developed versions of the same idea. The Jewish people had been enslaved for hundreds of years. Then God performed miracles, freed them from Egypt, and provided them with food and protection. And now, it was time for them to enter the land of Canaan. That required them to rely less on the miraculous and more on their hard work and sacrifice. They'd never done that before, and they were hesitant, perhaps frightened. The transition from national childhood to national adulthood was a bumpy and difficult process. And these stories teach of the transition from being a more dependent generation to becoming a more independent, yet equally inspired generation. To take on that challenge, one has to acknowledge two unsettling things. First, that life is full of uncertainty. Even if we plan, we don't know how things are going to turn out. And second, that although we are not perfect, we have to try and make it happen. That we will all make mistakes, we're going to fail sometimes. Even if we don't fail, things are seldom, if ever, perfect. Uncertainty, imperfection, and the importance of trying, those were challenging ideas for the Jewish people to take in during those years in the Midbar. And it remains challenging for us to accept even today. To become an independent adult means pushing through, giving your all for what you believe, for the good of your family, the good of your community, for the good of society, both Jewish and general, despite the uncertainty and imperfection that comes with it. And in that sense, the Torah is so special in the way that it communicates both the frailty of human existence on the one hand, and at the same time, that human existence, achievement, and connection are the pinnacle of creation. Now, building that kind of world takes effort. Building community and society is difficult work, and you know that firsthand. From your first days at SAR High School, you worked hard and ultimately really succeeded in shaping your grade into a very special community. The first example that comes to mind is the way that you engaged Maccabi from your very first year. Clearly, you had the widest range of exceptional talent, music, art, athletics, rapping, writing, divrei Torah, so much power in your group. Yeah, you can go ahead. You deserve it. And while it is clear that freshmen just don't win Maccabi, you still gave it your all to just be better than most freshman grades, to break the barriers that were commonly accepted. And you did that every single year that you were in the school. The way that you engaged Maccabi reflected your talent, your drive, your sense of community, and your desire just to do your best. Those characteristics have served you well. As you reach the end of the bumpy ride of high school life, you have proven that you are ready to take on the next stage of life with all that you've got. And unexpectedly, you were called upon to tackle an unusual life challenge before you even graduated high school. As we sit here in masks, 6 feet apart, I must say to you that you have handled these challenging circumstances and the disappointments that came with them with grace and strength and maturity. As second semester seniors in a wave of uncertainty, you could have checked out, but you didn't. You came to class, you were involved, you literally and figuratively showed up. You continued to lead, to support each other and the SAR community. And I have to say a word about senior explorations because they were awesome. You had to pivot and figure out what to do, and we, the faculty, speak on behalf of everybody, we're so proud of your work. You have missed out on many special events this year, but you just kept on going. You have taken on the uncertainty and imperfection, embraced what life presented, and you gave it your best shot. That says a world about the ways that you have grown over these 4 years. I am so, so proud of you. My bracha to you as you graduate from high school, may you continue to display the optimism and positivity that carried you through this challenging time. May you live your lives as men and women on a mission, constantly growing, reaching, shaping, enriching, deepening your own lives and the lives of those around you through the language and practice of Am Yisrael, through Torah and mitzvot. And may the life missions that you undertake inspire the life missions of future generations. May you keep Torah, mitzvot, Am Yisrael, and Eretz Yisrael in the front of your minds at all times. May you use your talents and strengths to make the world a better place. And may you continuously work hard to develop yourselves as thoughtful, reflective B'nai and B'not Torah, confident in taking on the challenges of the modern world, and committed to strengthening the Jewish people. In all those ways, you have had amazing role models to learn from. Of course, your parents, your grandparents. I want to note at this moment, and I want to take the opportunity to say thank you to the remarkable teachers of SAR High School who would have loved all to be here and unfortunately are watching virtually, but they deserve an enormous, enormous round of applause. Your hard work and dedication to the students and to the mission of SAR make this place what it is. And this year in particular, the way that you pivoted in an instant, took on the challenges of virtual school, you are the most amazing teachers, role models, and professionals. I always say that when people come over to tell me what they think is great about the school, the first thing that people always say, always, is the teachers in this school are amazing. They certainly are, and I am deeply grateful. And to my administrative colleagues, Rabbi Jonathan Kroll, Ms. Nancy Luria, Ms. Lisa Schlaf, Ms. Gloria Schneider, to Dr. Schwartz, Rabbi Danny Kroll, thank you all for everything, and please give them an enormous round of applause. It is a gift to work with smart, caring, reflective people who are really interested in listening to and learning from each other. It's what makes SAR a great place to come to each and every day. It is true every year and true this year in spades. To family and friends, thank you for joining in whichever way you were able. Mazal Tov, and may you have much nachat from your wonderful families. And now, it is my great pleasure to introduce the student representatives of the class of Tafshin Pei 2020. In the spring of the senior year, the seniors nominate those who they feel would best represent them at their graduation. The senior grade then chooses 2 students from the nominees to speak at graduation on their behalf. The students also select a faculty member to address them at graduation. You'll hear more about that later. It is my pleasure now to introduce Bailey Lerman, who will deliver his address in Hebrew, followed by Chava Geula Schwartz, who will speak in English. Bailey, come on up.
Kvod Harav Hargstark, Harav Kroll, Minahalim, Morim Mishpachot V'chaverim, Toda shebatem ha'erev lachagog itanu. Zot omeret ken, siyum halimudim hu iruach hashuv, gadol, aval bishvil rabim meitanu, hanesiya b'mechonit hayta ha'climax shel arba'at hachodashim ha'achronim, v'zo siba l'mesiba. B'shem kol habogrim, תודה שהייתם איתנו במהלך העליות והירידות לאורך שנות בית הספר התיכון ועזרתם לנו להגיע לפרק הבא בחיינו. אתם ה-essential workers שלנו. זה הפך לבדיחה, למרות שהכיתה שלנו היא מחזור 2020, היינו רחוקים מלהיות בעלי ראייה 2020 ולראות את מה שיקרה לנו. הציפיות שלנו לחיים רגילים בתיכון SAR בדרך כלל לא קרו. היום אני יכול לומר לכם שהכיתה שלנו כבר רגילה לכל הפתעה, והזמן שלנו יחד הוגדר על ידי ההפתעות לאורך הדרך. היו רגעים מאתגרים. מעולם לא ציפינו שנברח בטירוף מהבניין כי אוטובוס התפוצץ ועלה באש בחניון. מעולם לא חשבנו שיבנו אנקס שני, מה שגרם לנו לסבול מפקקי תנועה של תלמידים צעירים בחדר המדרגות בקומות השלישית והרביעית. נשארנו בחיים אחרי הסקירה הכואבת של קגריל מעבר לרחוב, ואפילו עברנו את השינוי הגדול, כשפתאום החליטו ב-SAR לעבור משובי לגוגל קלאסרום. היו לנו גם הפתעות משמחות. בקלוור שברנו שיא בבית הספר. הרב קרול חזר ל-SAR כדי ליצור את הצמד המנהל, המעניין והמבלבל עם הרב הרקסטארק, וכנראה הרגע המפתיע ביותר. ממש התקרבנו לניצחון במשחק הביתי של ורסיטי בסטינג נייט לייב. כשהייתי בבידוד, קראתי מאמר מעניין המתאר את הנסיבות ההיסטוריות המיוחדות של בוגרי מחזור 2020. חשבתי על זה, והבנתי עד כמה זה קשור לרעיון שלנו. כיתה שמצפה לבלתי צפוי. A class that expects the unexpected. באנו לעולם בסביבות ה-11 בספטמבר. נכנסנו לבית הספר היסודי במהלך המיתון הגדול של 2008. התחלנו את התיכון בבחירות 2016 שחילקו את המדינה, וכמובן שסיימנו אותו בבום, עם מגפה עולמית. במילים אחרות, הצמתים שלנו הם כמו גרסה חדשה של We Didn't Start the Fire של בילי ג'ול. המאמר המשיך ואמר שלבוגרי 2020 יש כוח נפשי שיעזור להם להתמודד עם כל ההפתעות והקשיים שעוד מחכים להם. למרות שזה נגמר בטון אופטימי, זה גם גרם לי לחשוב איזה אירוע משנה חיים יקרה כשנסיים את הלימודים בקולג'. אבל אפילו בלי כל האירועים הבלתי צפויים שציינתי, כמו שאפשר להעיד על חבר'ה הכיתה שלנו, אנחנו די מפתיעים. רבים מאיתנו נהיו חברים של תלמידים שמעולם לא חשבו שיהיו קרובים עליהם. רבים מאיתנו התחילו בתחביבים חדשים, בספורט, ובנושאים שמעולם לא חשבו שיהנו מהם. ומי חשב עד כמה הוויינקארט תצליח בצנת האוכל התחרותית הייחודית של בית הספר שלנו. אי אפשר להתעלם מזה שהיום אנשים אוהבים נורמליות בשגרה, אבל יחד עם זאת, לפחות עבורי, הזיכרונות המשמעותיים ביותר שלי הם ההפתעות, הרגעים שלא חשבנו שיקרו. אני לא יודע מה איתכם, אני לא ממש יכול להבדיל בין מה שקרה בכל השבתונים, אבל אני זוכר מצוין את השבתון שבו יורם הציע נישואין לאשתו בפני כל בית הספר. אני לא זוכר את כל הפרטים מהטיולים של הכיתה שלנו, אבל אני זוכר שהאוטובוס שלנו פגע בעמוד טלפון בדרך חזרה מטיול הסופמור שלנו. בואו נודה בזה. האם זה לא יותר כיף לספר את הסיפורים הכי מוזרים ומטורפים שקרו לנו, מאת האירועים הרגילים של חיי היום-יום? אבל אני רוצה להרחיב את הרעיון הזה קצת יותר, להגיד שרבים מהזיכרונות שלנו לא קשורים רק למה שקרה, אלא יותר לאנשים שהיינו איתם ולדרך שבה הגבנו, איך התמודדנו עם דברים מפתיעים שקרו לנו. הגמרא בגיטין נ"ו מספרת שכאשר הרומאים עשו מצור על ירושלים לפני חורבן בית המקדש השני, רבי יוחנן בן זכאי הרשים את הגנרל הרומאי אספסיאנוס בחוכמתו. בתמורה נתן לו אספסיאנוס לבקש בקשה. רבי יוחנן ביקש את העיר יבנה ואת תלמידי החכמים שגרים שם. הגמרא שואלת, מדוע רבי יוחנן לא ביקש בקשה גדולה יותר? מדוע הוא לא ביקש להציל את כל היהודים? הגמרא עונה שרבי יוחנן הבין את המציאות באותה תקופה. יהודים רבים יהרגו, ירושלים תחרב, ואי אפשר לשנות את זה. רבים לא יכלו לדמיין כיצד החיים היהודים יכולים להימשך ללא בית המקדש והקורבנות. אבל רבי יוחנן עשה משהו יצירתי. בסופו של דבר, הוא והחכמים ביבנה יצרו את היהדות כמו שאנו מכירים היום. אותה דרך חשיבה עזרה ליהודים אחרי השואה. רבים האמינו שהעם היהודי לעולם לא יחזור לעצמו, אבל הציונים האמינו שאפשר להחיות את העם היהודי ולהקים מדינת ישראל. There is no question in my mind that our grade exemplifies the same resilience, creativity, and leadership qualities. We've always been an unexpected group of people. When surprises are thrown at us, time and time again, we have risen to the occasion. These are the moments we should value most and are the ones that will forever bond us as a class. Mazel tov graduates, and let us continue to exceed expectations like we do best.
Rabbi Hartstark, Rabbi Kroll, teachers, family, and classmates. On February 25th, the first day of Color War 2020, I was sitting on the bleachers in the gym watching a four-way tug-of-war. And as I sat there with my friends, I began noticing which classmates of mine were picked to compete in this particular challenge. I'll admit that I had never thought much about which of my classmates had the strongest arms or the grippiest shoes, but clearly somebody had. Somebody knew our grade well enough to select those people for tug-of-war. And our grade won Color War, again. One very important thing to know about our grade is that we do really well at color war. And here's what's interesting about that. When I joined this class in 10th grade, I knew that I was joining a grade with a reputation. That sophomore year, we had many grade culture meetings. Grade culture meetings, another SARism I had never heard before. But let's just say that I did not assume that a grade which needed culture meetings would be good at color war. But we were not just good, we were great. And so as I sat and watched Tug of War this year, I was thinking about why our grade won color war so often. I believe that our success was because we really knew one another. We know which people have secret 2048 skills because we know who plays 2048 all through class. We know that the people who kept us from using the large bathroom stalls for a year are the ones with the skills necessary for creating color war TikToks. We know who can decorate the Beit Midrash, write a song that will make everyone cry, make a mask out of duct tape, and get a basketball into a hoop. Okay, so we know where people will be most productive. We'll all be great at extracting labor from people in the future. But part of knowing which people are good at which things is also recognizing when you yourself are not good at that thing. We must make space for others to lead when we can't or shouldn't. Color War is a powerful event in the life of SAR students because it forces us to step outside ourselves, function as a cohesive whole, and appreciate the talents and strengths of others. In Parshat Beha'alotcha, which we read a couple of weeks ago, we read the story of Eldad and Medad. Gershom, Moshe Rabbeinu's son, tells him that Eldad and Medad are prophesying before all the Israelites. Yehoshua, Moshe's right-hand man and successor, recommends that they be imprisoned for disrespect to Moshe, for their insubordination. But Moshe himself suggests that Eldad and Medad be heard. Moshe says, Mi yitain kol am Hashem niviyim, ki yitain Hashem et rucho aleihem. If God has given them the ability to prophesy for the camp, they should be allowed to do so. He does not see this as a threat to his authority. On the contrary, it is a display of his strength as a leader. The story of Eldad and Medad is distinct from the story of Korach. Korach challenges Moshe with the question, why can't everyone hold power in the camp? Though what he really means by that is that he wants a position of power. While Moshe can step aside to let other people lead, Korach has a single-track mind. He asks, what opportunities are there for me to be in charge and take power? So where does that leave us, the class of 2020, ultimate color war champions? Because it turns out that in real adult life, color war is not a thing. But we have developed some serious skills of life and leadership. Moshe Rabbeinu teaches us a very powerful lesson. He teaches us that sometimes it's okay to just cheer from up in the bleachers, to watch and to notice. Like Moshe, we can and should be the people who step aside when others are more fit to the task. We can help from the sidelines or cheer our friends on without making Korach's mistake of believing we must be out front, leading everything. The ability to work with people's unique talents is a life skill. It requires that we stop and see and hear and empathize. To truly pay attention to another person may seem like a simple task, but it requires humility, empathy, and practice. And it is tough to pay attention. The world is distracting, and technology makes it pretty easy to multitask. Even though the time of Corona means we can order Uber Eats from a Tanakh breakout room, it has also forced us to pay closer attention. With a new way of being in the world, we begin to notice things and, hopefully, appreciate what we used to take for granted. It is a powerful lesson that an essential worker can be a doctor, a nurse, a delivery person, a cashier at the grocery store. Essential, necessary, part of a bigger picture. The past months have taught us that we still have a lot of learning to do. We must engage in serious reflection, and we have to pay attention in order to see, hear, and empathize with others' experiences. This is what it means to leave the safety of high school and enter a wider world. But class of 2020, as you go forth, remember that we started honing this skill at SAR. We have an opportunity to bring the values we developed as a grade, to bring our culture of mutual appreciation to the fore. Regardless of what the world looks like in the coming months and years, let us commit today to continue to carry this message with us as we exercise leadership out there in the world. Congratulations, class of 2020.
In just a moment, I'm going to ask everybody to please draw your attention to the video screens, where you're going to see the senior class presentation, Forever Home, which includes a slam poem written by our very own Ruthie Udelson, of course. I want to thank Rabbi Kenny Birnbaum and Ms. Dorit Katzenellenbogen for all of your creativity, your perseverance, your flexibility in pulling off this entire event. And I'd also like to thank J. Josh Lewis, for his media expertise. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we must also thank two of our leaders, our GLCs, Ms. Germano and Ms. Taubes. Following the video presentation of Forever Home, we are also going to hear remarks from Zoe Heisler, 10-year alumna from the class of 2010. And after Zoe's remarks, which are recorded and you will see on the screen, you will hear a live speech by the faculty person who was selected by the senior class to deliver inspirational remarks to them. The faculty member so beloved by the senior class who will be addressing them is Rabbi Jeff Ney. But now, I ask you to please pay attention to Forever Home.
We were dancing, more like raving, at a chagiga the other day. My friends and I go wild, we'd have it no other way. And then we hush up and move into lines neat and straight. We all hold hands and sing about how long our people had to wait for a land that was their own. And a sweat is dripping down my back. I stand with the kids who kept my sense of self intact through each teenage heartache and hard-teachered class. And I think, this here is my home.
Avos de Rabbi Natan tells about Akiva and the stone, how drop by drop the water made this rock into something it hadn't been. How Torah softens hardened hearts in ways that you can't tell apart day by day. But 4 years later, it's changed our ways. The first issue of The Buzz in our first year at SAR emblazoned with the headline, "All beginnings are hard." A rocky start for freshman class of 2020. Anyone could see the strides we've made. If we started off as rocks, then look what we became. Tell me what it is. Tell me what we've found. As freshmen, we entered this house. As seniors, we ruached it down.
Maybe it's the sunlight through our glass walls, all vitamin D and open plan halls. Where else could you find such ideological architecture? Nothing sequestered from the outside, but the Beit Midrash is our core, and we've got no walls to keep it separate from our lives. We call the conversation grand, but it's something else that's constant. I cannot stop myself from wanting to have my bones be building steel and an outside so transparent. And if God would build a base within me, then know that I will have it.
To learn in Chavruta or alone, with fellows who remind you to put away your phone. Maybe it's the teachers who we steig with like old friends. Maybe it's our family getting bigger. Do you remember when Miss Brandress made us witness to that bald eagle's birth? It cracked that egg like foreshadowing. Yes, it left the nest first. But we will all so soon be saying goodbye to our land, to our parents' homes. Rabbi Harkstark said on a recent Shabbaton that Avram wasn't chosen at all. God chooses all of us, but He rose to the call. So when we cast off the places we've known, Hashem is summoning each of us to grow. So maybe it's the way we're taught. The divine is near and not so far as some may have believed. Maybe it's the way my teachers say the Jewish people are waiting for someone like me.
Maybe it's Eric's easy dunks lifting all our hopes, or 15 max Parnasses, the only limitation us SAR students know. Maybe it's administrators who hate your freeze and know your names. You won't get off the floor because you cannot be contained. The bus fire burns in all our hearts, setting us aflame, and fuego for team spirit at our Sting Sports games, or homecoming throats soar from all of our shouts. Was it sophomore Purim or color war which trickled in and changed us, drop by ounce?
What a velvet finish to something we aren't prepared to leave. So thankful for what we had that we just might forget to grieve. We're beginning something new. Here's to another rocky start. Let's hope it ends like this one did, 138 hearts like one beating up upon this stage. I didn't feel us growing up, but look how well we've aged. In singing that Hatikva, I had a sense of pre-nostalgia. Can you imagine? Because a place like this doesn't stay forever. Next year is big, but how could something be better than this school that brought us together and helped us come into our own? And I distinctly remember thinking, I never could have guessed how much SAR would be my home.
If this
would have been
as far
As it
went,
it would
have been
A pretty
typical
senior
year.
Win.
Color war again. Rule the school.
get senioritis,
make a ruckus on the
Sixth
floor,
do
senior
exploration,
and ride
off
Into
the sunset.
while
wiping
Away.
A tear.
But there are more than 275,000 infections worldwide.
Tonight, New York City releasing new numbers on the pandemic.
School shutdowns as a precautionary measure could be crippling.
That's not exactly
how it
played out.
Instead,
We got
a once,
In a century.
Global.
Pandemic.
Zoom.
School.
social
distancing,
and ending.
our
Senior Year.
Trying.
To hold on.
To a sense.
Of unity.
And community.
While
We sat.
In our bedrooms.
Alone.
staring
At our screens.
So.
instead
Of an ending.
To our senior.
Year.
About.
Making.
Memories.
And having.
Fun. And looking.
Back.
We got.
an ending
About.
resilience and letting go
Of expectations. And making. The most.
of how
Things are. In an unsettled.
Present.
and an uncertain
Future. Our. Small.
losses
Aren't.
The most.
Important.
Thing.
but
They were. Important.
To us.
And we.
have learned
To overcome them. Over.
Zoom
And on. TikTok.
through
A different.
sort
Of senior.
Exploration.
and a different sort
Of ditch. Dead.
We have. Ended.
Our senior.
year
Alone.
But.
Sort of.
Kind of.
to the best of our ability
Together.
At the end.
We were.
Physically.
distant
But not.
Socially.
distant
After.
All.
SAR. High School Class of 2020.
We learned less. But we became more.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. I'm Zoe Heisler, and I graduated from SAR in the class of 2010. I want to spend a few minutes to focus on your experiences at SAR and how they will equip you to navigate the world moving forward. I graduated from SAR a short 10 years ago, and while the school has definitely changed, I am sure that certain elements of its culture have not. SAR was always a welcoming and safe environment for intellectual curiosity and a questioning mindset. I can vividly remember sitting in Machshavet Yisrael with my friends, challenging the authority of the Rambam to declare what principles make a Jew, or having a school-wide Yom Iyun to learn about Kol Isha and the reasons that SAR as an institution has departed from the status quo and allowed women to sing in plays. I can think of so many other instances when I or my peers questioned what we were learning or SAR's own policies. Interestingly, I think that this mentality of accepting and encouraging questions is related to both the past and upcoming Parshiot. In Parshat Korach, we see a dramatic confrontation when Korach amasses a crowd of leaders among Bnei Israel to challenge Moshe, saying, Rav lachem, ki kol ha'eda kulam k'doshim, u'mitocham Hashem, u'madoa titnasu al kahal Hashem. Korach questions the political and religious hierarchy, wherein Aaron and Moshe hold the power, given that all of Bnei Israel are holy. We see a similar, albeit smaller, example of this as well in Parshat Chukah, with the story of Mei Meriva. Bnei Israel confront Moshe about their lack of water, questioning why Moshe had brought them to the desert simply to perish from thirst. V'lama hevetem et kahal Hashem el hamidbar hazeh lamut sham. I think there's a lot to learn from these two conflicts, particularly in the way they commenced and their responses. Let's start with the end. In the story of Korach, Moshe first acknowledges the challenge and schedules a trial to prove who merits leadership. This reaction shows that though Korach is woefully wrong, Moshe understands this question and responds to it to prove again and definitively that he and Aaron are Hashem's choice. In the story of Mei Meriva, the conclusion is only somewhat less dramatic when Hashem tells Moshe and Aaron to provide Bnei Israel with water. Hashem's reaction is very reasonable, because though the request was made amid a sea of grievances, it was a very practical ask. Moshe, however, is not quite as even-keeled. He hits the rock, calls Bnei Israel rebels, and is promptly notified by Hashem that he will not be entering Eretz Yisrael. These two resolutions share some sensational endings, yet they also share the initial response of validating the question with an answer. By validating the question in both situations, Hashem and Moshe are able to show Bnei Israel that their opinions are heard and their needs are known. Of course, now we need to address why both endings were so shocking, and I think this ties into the way that the interactions began. In both stories, the altercations begin with the same wording, Vayikalu al Moshe v'al Aharon, and they assembled on Moshe and on Aaron. In both of these stories, they act on Moshe and on Aaron instead of a more benign Vayavau el Moshe v'Aharon. No, these are fighting words. This is what makes the difference. This is why the stories don't end well. They do not ask questions, though they may be legitimate questions, with respect. Even Moshe's response to Bnei Israel at Mei Meriva, calling them rebels, is considered by some Mefarshim as part of the reason he was barred from entering the land. It is crucial to both question and answer with respect. This is obviously my message to all of you. Continue questioning. I'm sure that, like me and my friends, you have all questioned Jewish philosophy, literary interpretations, and certain school rules. Though looking back, I'm not positive just how respectful we were in all of those instances. Retain that mindset that you developed of questioning the opinions and sources you've read over the last 4 years and engage with the structure and policies of the organizations to which you dwell and belong as you move on. However, when you do question the status quo, remember to do so with humility and respect for others and their opinions, even though you may disagree. All the more so, when you are eventually the authority figures, remember the same lesson. This has been, in my experience, the best way to engage in meaningful discourse. I hope you all continue to engage in important conversations and challenge the world around you in a considerate manner. Thankfully, SAR will continue to offer avenues through which you can do so. SAR is unafraid to engage with complex issues within the Orthodox world, and they want to keep having these conversations with you as alumni. As SAR alumni, there will be reunions and campus visits, fun ways to reconnect with friends and teachers, but the Alumni Association also offers fellowships and small events to engage alumni and communities in meaningful dialogue about the relationship between traditional Judaism and challenging issues in contemporary life, such as egalitarian values, homosexuality, or even the impact of materialism on modern orthodoxy. So when you move on to your next steps in life, through a gap year or college or whatever it may be, make sure to keep questioning and to come back to SAR to keep those grand conversations going. Congratulations.
Dear seniors, when I arrived at SAR 2 years ago, it became clear to me very quickly that your class was truly something special. You are a diverse and unique group, filled with humor, passion, loyalty, and talent. I often find myself thinking about your team song performance at Maccabi junior year. while it was your collaborative and creative spirit that picked the tune and wrote the lyrics, what really stole the show that day was the unity and joy with which you performed it. When you ended up winning Maccabi, many viewed it as a major upset. You were juniors. But I was hardly surprised. After all, as a member of Team Choshen Mishpat myself, I had witnessed firsthand what you could do when united. I'm truly honored to be your faculty speaker at graduation, and I'm very grateful to be here and see you graduate in person. But we can't ignore the elephant in the room, and this is certainly a unique graduation. But there's one key change this year that I'm very thankful for. The way the stage is normally set up is such that the speaker's back is to the graduates and facing the audience. Therefore, while the remarks are about the graduates, they are directed towards friends and family. This graduation provides the opportunity to speak directly to you, our graduates. Graduation is a time of mixed emotions. There's a mixture of happiness, sadness, relief, and excitement, to name a few. It's a time to think back about all of the memories you've made over the last 4 years. At the same time, it's sometimes a scary time because we don't really know what the future holds. Here at SAR, you guys are the seniors. You're the go-tos for underclassmen when they have a question or a problem. What elective should I take? Who will cut me a break if I turn in an assignment late? What team should I try out for? The world outside these walls is unfamiliar and therefore can be kind of scary and intimidating. This reminds me of the song from the late 90s, a song called Closing Time. If you're a fan of The Office, you might know the song as the one that Andy sings when he closes up the office. On the surface, it's about people leaving a bar at the end of the night. But according to the songwriter, it's really a metaphor for the life changes that will soon occur as he prepares to become a father. The final line of the song is the one I really want to focus on in this moment. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. At the beginning of every new situation, we're racked with self-doubt. Think about your first day in the hive. Were you nervous then? Were you worried if you would fit in? How you would do academically? Just 4 short years ago, SAR High School was the beginning. Now, you've reached the end. The fear and anxiety has been replaced by feelings of comfort and of home. This is what awaits you out in the world. As scary as the next steps might seem in this moment, you will undoubtedly achieve the same level of comfort and success in your upcoming destinations. Just remember, this was once a beginning too. The challenges presented by life transitions is not something new, and is actually pointed out by the Mechilta on Parshat Yitro, which teaches us Kol Hatchalot Kashot. All new beginnings are difficult. The question is, why is this teaching pluralized? It would have made more sense to simply say Kol Hatchala Kasheh, a new beginning is difficult. Why bother going through the seemingly unnecessary step of pluralizing this idea? The answer to this question is something I want you to keep in mind on your journey through life, especially through the difficult times. When starting something new, the trajectory to success is never a straight line forward. Every new beginning is really a series of successes and failures, hits and misses, trials and errors. In order to achieve success at any new endeavor, you have to be prepared to deal with setbacks. You must be flexible, resilient, and persistent. I believe that this is the reason our sages pluralized this teaching, to help us to understand that a new beginning is in reality a series of new beginnings. My bracha to you is also the message I want to leave you with. I wish for you to pursue and achieve a life of simcha, our theme of the year. What does it mean to be besimcha? What constitutes true happiness, and how is it acquired? The Malbim on Mishlei explains that simcha is not something that can be achieved through acquiring possessions and wealth. That type of joy is temporary and fleeting. Being besimcha means being able to take a look at your life and having the ability to recognize and be grateful for everything you have. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avot teaches, Ezehu Ashir Hasameach Bechalko. Is truly wealthy, someone who is besimcha with what they have. Being besimcha means being in a constant state of happiness due to being content with what you have in life, what we would call achieving inner peace. When setting goals for what you hope to achieve in life, it's very important not to and the ends of those goals. Aim to acquire that which will make you truly happy. When choosing a career, make sure that your choice is not simply based on what you think will make you wealthy, for that is a means to an end. Choose a path that will bring you simcha. Pursue what you are passionate about, and be'ezrat Hashem, you will achieve great success. Choose making peace over the need to be right. Conquer the midot of ego and anger. Learn to let things go and to never hold a grudge. In doing so, you will focus on what is really important rather than being consumed by what is not. You guys are standing on the backs of those who have come before you. You have had opportunities that so many others have not had due to the sacrifices your parents have made to get you to this point. Be grateful to them. Don't ever forget it, and let that motive be your very best. You are the future of Klal Yisrael. You are the future wives and mothers and husbands and fathers of the next generation of our people. It will be up to you to nurture, guide, and educate them, leading them towards a life of Torah and Yirat Shamayim. Finally, I would be remiss not to acknowledge what you have had taken away. Your final school-wide Shabbaton and senior trip, the chance to say a proper goodbye, and the general closure that is usually associated with the end of senior year. But be besimcha. Appreciate what you have, and don't let these last 3 months define your high school experience. When you think back about your high school experience, remember that it is not defined by the way it ended. Rather, it will ultimately be defined by the lessons you learned, the friends you made, and the memories you will forever cherish. You are now and will forever be members of Sting Nation. We'll miss you. We are so proud of you. We love you. And we will always be with you. Mazel Tov and Hatzlacha Rabbah, class of 2020.
All right, you guys ready for your diplomas? Lily Abrams. Daniel Agus. Eric Eidler. Kira Appel. Ayelet Aronoff. Eden Barak. Ellie Ben Meir. Sarah Ben Moha. Tova Berman. Jonathan Blitz. Jordana Broom. Ethan Burian. Rachel Charandoff. Eitan Chaseman. Amichai Citron. Jacob Cohn. Joshua Cohn. Joshua Dauber. Talia David. Maddie Davidson. Rebecca Diane. Reese Dolphman. Jacob Edelstein. Esther Eisenstadt. Nitai Eshed. Michal Fass. Elisheva Feintup. Emily Feldman. Bencion Fiorino. Davi Frank. Adam Freilish. Jillian Freed. Hannah Friedman. Ethan Fromm.
Isaac Froman. Bennett Geller. Daniela Glass. Noam Goldberg-Kelman. Maya Goldstein. Rachel Goodman. Perry Gardisher. Jacob Greenwald. Joseph Gross. Rebecca Grzbinski. Layla Haller. Jordan Hammerman. Mika Hartman. Millie Helft. Elisheva Herman. Benji Hoff. Samantha Horowitz. Joshua Hyman. Bella Ingber. Eitan Israel. Ellie Jesselson. Maya Jubis. Noah Kalfas. Inbal Katz. Samuel Kinchis. Kobe Kinselberg. Amanda Kleinman. Rebecca Klein. Michal Kleinman. Samuel Kleschik. Dahlia Kohler. Ellie Kisowski. Miriam Kranz. Leora Krasner. Zachy Kraus.
Rebecca Kraus. Leibowitz. Bailey Lerman. Noah Lubsdorf. Aaron Levitt. Alexander Levy. Dove Levy. Eitan Marks. Samantha Marilis. Vera Mayers. Daniela Messer. Renee Metzger. Jack Meyer. Joshua Milstein. Joshua Morris. Akiva Nyman Licht. Adam Neowitz. Adam Nierenberg. Anna Newcombs. Joshua Orlean. Alexander Osen. Leah Paradise Mayan. Brian Parnas. Sophia Reich. Noah Rayson. Suri Rosensaft. Adine Rothstein. Israel Ruemi. Maya Rubenstein. Misha Saad. Yedidia Solomon. Charles Samuels. Batya Sarna. Caroline Sawson. Abigail Scher.
Judah Schanzer. Chava Schwartz. Jacob Seligson. Yamin Siemer. Yonina Siemer. Andrew Schaefer. Orel Shakarchi. Dovi Shalev. Ezra Shapiro. Ora Sidlow. Caleb Siegel. Neely Slasky. Anna L. Small. Ayal Smith. Eitan Spivak. Charlotte Steinblatt. Abigail Sultanic. Moshe Tambor. Michaela Thaw. Samuel Tuckman. Maya Unger. Emma Vorsheimer. Liana Weinberger. Sam Weingard. Olivia Weinstein. Abraham Weitzman. Ayelet Wiederhorn. Xander Wilk Lifshitz. Joshua Wahlberg. Ruth Udelson. Maayan Zimind. Kayla Zimnavoda. Jason Zucker. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the SAR High School graduates of 2020. Mazal tov to our graduates and their families. This concludes the formal graduation program. Graduates, please remain in your seats until your parents arrive.